Kenya's economic growth prospects are once again under sharp focus as analysts reckon that significant rise in debt interest payment and a slower growth in revenue pose a challenge to the country's fiscal sustainability. Now, despite noticeable signs of resilience, growing fiscal and debt-related vulnerabilities are threatening to erode the progress made in recent years. NTV's Brian George has more.
My name is Anthony, and I work in the market.
According to the Institute of Public Finance, Eurobonds maturing from 2028 will expose Kenya's recurrent external debt refinancing needs over the next decade, compounding rollover risk and increasing exposure to global interest rates and currency volatility. Large peaks are visible in 2028, 2034, and 2036. Each with $1 billion obligation alongside smaller but still significant maturities in intervening years.
Our national debt now has grown to 12 trillion Kenya shillings. Over. It's now, because we borrow every day on average, maybe we are now talking about 12.4 trillion Kenya shillings. A higher figure from the previous times that we talked about debt. And I talked about these figures the other day, which are factual again. And every Kenyan, the beauty about Kenya now is that we may have shortfalls, but at least the Constitution guarantees that we get part of the public information for free when you need it.
The country's net public debt to GDP ratio currently stands at 64%, above the 55% anchor. It has left limited room for spending on critical sectors as education and healthcare, as interest payments on debt gobble up more than 40% of ordinary revenue.
Maybe what we need to do is to take some of the people from the National Treasury for a benchmarking trip to Ghana, and they interact with real people, not the economy. You know, many times you talk about jargons, GDP and the rest. You now go and interact with a pensioner in Ghana. Interact with a person who had bought government instruments in Ghana, who after they borrowed too much, they had to call borrowers in a round table and tell them, guys, listen, I know I owe you $1 million shillings, but from today I am the sovereign. I owe you only 700. That's what we call a haircut.
The report also pokes holes into the current reforms being undertaken in the healthcare sector. While the Social Health Authority, SHA, was established in 2023, preliminary reviews indicate that SHA is falling short of expectations in terms of service delivery and transparency in patient care, vital ingredients required to safeguard public trust. Brian George, NTV, Nairobi.